let's understand one reality, which is Brahman. That reality is perceived through three principles. Those principles are being, like creature, world, divine. That divine is not understood as a person. That divine is again a principle, which is then understood as what? What is Ishvara then? Ishvara is the cosmic principle of creation, sustenance, dissolution. Creation, sustenance, dissolution. And to symbolize that principle, we have deities. Now, when you come to Hinduism, then it will start saying, okay, this deity lives there and does this and does. It's all fine. I mean, I don't want to go there. I just want to say, if Brahman is true, I am here, I am true, world is there, Ishvara is there. If Ishvara is there, I can notice sustenance, creation, sustenance, destruction here, everywhere. Then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Give them English names, give them Portuguese names, doesn't matter. Principle is real. And then I function in that. Is that helpful to you? Please write me yes or no. Okay.
We're seeing many yeses and nods.
Wonderful.
Another question here has come, Acharya Shunya, which says, fascinating that the ultimate will shift shape based on our devotion of the ultimate. Very inclusive indeed.
Very, very.
Oh, yes.
In fact, to this height, that if you imagine that goddess will come to you in yellow clothes, she's wearing a tiara and a gown and your grandmother's veil, then when you have that special moment, Ishvara will come in that form for you. Because if Ishvara can create this whole universe, what's the big deal? That's the beauty of it.
Yes. So the question following this is, how do we account for the battle of good and evil? How do we account for the darkness of our time? Is it an action of dissolution?
No, the thing is that Ishvara is not just earth, Ishvara is this whole universe, which multiverses is Ishvara's management. And in that multiverses, there are some lokas where there is only good. And there are some lokas where there is only bad. We are a half bad, half good. And we are going through cycles of more bad and less good. So this is all part of all of us finding our Brahmanhood, our Ishvarahood. We are in process. And we're not just in process as individuals. We are in process as collective. And then we are in process as a universalistic thing. So it is all like the moon, you see phases of the moon, or you see the sun rising or setting. So if you only focus on why did this cup fall down and break, then yeah, that's bad. That's not good. But good, bad come into your vocabulary. But probably that breaking of the cup was necessary for this multiverse to move on to the next level of evolution. You don't know that. Yeah. The Upanishads ask you to step up beyond good and bad into the observer consciousness, into watching the play of this whole thing. In fact, I'm not able to write this because I don't think humanity is ready, but you're not a person too. You're also a principle. Ishvara is a principle. The world is a principle. And you're not a person, you're a principle. And that principle operates well when it understands law of karma, law of dharma, law of birth, law of death. Then it takes away some of the questions, like the principle that you are maybe having some really difficult experiences, but when you are in your dream, and I'm speaking very non-dual Upanishadic language, so please don't think I'm being insensitive to what's going on in the world, but I'm talking not as a person who lives in California I'm not talking as an earthling. If I'm talking as Brahman principle, then I want to say that when you have a really bad dream and things are going really bad and you're feeling really bad in that dream, you're suffering, but then you wake up from it. And then that dream doesn't matter. All the details of that ugliness of the dream don't matter. And that's what the Upanishads are trying to tell you, that this is the dream you dream when you all open your eyes. This is not the ultimate reality. And in this dream, holding on to Guru, Ishvara, and Brahman, this is the path to ascension. Waking up. So how should I explain to you why our collective, so when we go to bed and we close our eyes, we have private dreams, and then when we open our eyes, we have collective dreams, and half the world has one collective dream and half the world has another collective dream. And all the caterpillars, when they open their eyes, they have another collective dream. They don't know they live on earth. They have their own survival battles. And all the rhinoceros, they have their own battles. And all the dying species, they have their own battle. This whole universe is full of battles and death and battles. So open your eyes, help where you can, but this is not the ultimate scenario, black and white. I mean, that's if you're talking spiritually. If you're talking to me as an earthling who lives in Northern California, who's concerned about the war that's raging in, another part of my earth, then I will give you different answer. But I have to keep coming back to the deeper conversation.
Acharya Shunya, we have 2 more questions here in the chat. One is, how would the idea of every jiva finding its purpose fit into this framework?
We don't have any purpose except to wake up, actually. Everything else is pastime. You think it's my purpose to come and teach you? Or my purpose to write a book? The only reason I do this is because if I don't do this, I don't stay connected to Guru, Ishvara, Brahman. What else is my purpose? What else is your purpose? The sooner you can figure out the ultimate purpose is moksha. Second purpose is dharma. So that until you wake up from the dream, at least let's help other people and be kind to other people. The third purpose is, okay, let's go ahead and put some food in our stomach. It will be more comfortable. That is artha. And the last purpose is, might as well sing and dance and have some sex while we are at it. Come on. What else is the purpose? You tell me. No other purpose sustains. None. None. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make this a very sad class, but unfortunately, or fortunately for you, I have decided that I really just can't sugarcoat my words anymore. At least not in the Vedic way. What other purpose is there, you tell me? That is why I'm all for religion also, because at least religion keeps us in, I'm talking about all good religions, every religion, not just Hindu religion. All religions at least keep us in the sanctuary of Ishvara in some way. And that is why it is not just the Hindus who have miracles. Christians also have it. African shamanic religious people also have miracles. Everybody has miracles, right? Everybody got miracles. Why? Because everybody got Ishvara. Yes, the direct route, the science of Ishvara, the Upanishads got. So that is something nice. We owe it to them to give us that.
Thank you. And a clarification here, a final question is, how does the concept of Atma relate here? In Advaita Vedanta, is it correct that Brahman, Ishvara, Jiva, and Atman are ultimately identical, but the fact that we perceive them as separate causes suffering?
So at some point, so the Jiva is just the name given to Atma plus body plus ego and all that, right? That's called a Jiva. But if we were to be talking in a Vedantic language, then inside all of that is Atma. And Atma is same as Brahman, Atma is same as Ishvara. But I will lead you to it later because, okay, let me explain it so that you're not confused. Initially, we see the world separately, myself separately, ourselves separately, the world separately, and God, the divine separately. See them separate. That time we use the vocabulary of Jiva. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Separate. But if we have knowledge, because you can't just wake up to it one day and say, oh no, I'm not separate. You have to have this knowledge from the Upanishads that I'm giving you. Okay. And you've contemplated it, so it goes from being heard to being realized inside you. Then you will realize that, wait a minute, this divine that I'm worshipping in the form of Durga or Mother Mary or Allah, probably they are in the sunrise and the sunset also. Okay. Then wait a minute. That light that I'm worshipping in the sunrise and the sunset, it is here also. And you will come from a triangle into a single point here. Everything here. When that happens, the Jiva would have touched its true identity, and that is Atma. And the finding of Ishvara within the heart is the same as finding Brahman within the heart, which is the same as finding all these words collapse into one self, one Atma, one truth, oneness. So Vedanta is so kind that it begins with first duality. World is here, divine is here, Brahman is somewhere, and I'm just a creature that is scared. This is where we begin. And at that time, we are Jivas. But later we realize that everything coalesces into a single point of self. When I close my eyes, everything fades into it. When I open, the dream begins, but it's all one. At that level, we can say that then the Jiva realizes that I am Atma, Brahman. I am Atma, I am Brahman. This is a realization that happens. It is not a noun. Hey, are you Atma? Are you Jiva? No, it's a realization that happens. Okay? That's why for the spiritual people, we don't say we are Jiva. We say we are Jivatma, which means we are Jivas on our way to discover our Atmahood, our Ishwarahood, our Brahmanhood, right? These are all one. So if I had to stack up all the aspirational ideas, then it's Atma, Ishvara, Brahman. One. Okay. It's very complicated, but if you watch this again and again, say you watched this video, you heard this video 3 times, and you drew some pictures and whatever, and you contemplated on it, like the next time I spoke to you, it would sit even deeper and deeper and deeper. That's the way to go, is to re-listen to it. Is time up now?
Yeah, we have reached the end, and there's just one final question which feels like a resolving question. I wonder if you can
Sure.
speak to. It says, you just described how once the individual blends into Brahman, that awareness becomes absorbed into Brahman. Is that the end of the cycle of lifetimes? Is Brahman considered wholeness, oneness, nothingness?
You can consider that it is like waking up from the dream of birth and rebirth, birth and death and rebirth. Yeah, it is the end of samsara. It is the end of samsara.
Thank you.
Can I have some feedback from you? Like, this is not too much for you, what I'm sharing? Can you tell me? So you can say too much if it's number 2, otherwise write 1. So write me 2 or 1. Please be honest, because I'm here to serve you. It should not be that I want to talk about it, so I'm talking about this, and you don't get it and it just goes over. What's the point? Yeah. I see a lot of 1s, but are there any 2s also?
Looks like it's all ones.
Nice.
It may also be really helpful, maybe perhaps in the forum, if people could share your experience after this kind of teaching. What would help you review this? What would help keep it awake for you? What would help integrate it more? Those kinds of suggestions would be helpful later. Yeah.
Well, on the day I'm teaching it on Earth, it's Halloween in the country I live in, so happy Halloween. And these are all parts of Kama Sukha, where we enjoy with family and friends. And so we create what is called as mini purposes in life. Today is Halloween. Today is Diwali. So we create these mini purposes. But if we can connect to deeper messages through everything we do, yeah. So I'm hoping that I will clarify the basic principle of Ishvara and its omniscience and omnipresence. Then we can go into some Bhakti Yoga teachings of how to be more connected with Ishvara. So those would be more applied. That would be less metaphysical thinking and more of applied, which you will appreciate and enjoy. All right. Thank you so much, Gemma.